boy DJ Klyph, back in the building right here on Dirty Dog Productions, The Underground. You know, as you can see, I have an opportunity to sit here and chill with a man who's been in the game for a long minute. You know, I'd say we could probably call him a legend. MC Spice One. What's up, Cat?
What's up?
Oh, man, I can't call it, man. Just appreciate you passing through, you know, taking a couple minutes out your day to come hang with us, man.
It's good to be here. You know, I mean, I've been on the road, you know, came smash through here and hang out with my dudes, man, you know.
There it is. There it is. Yes, sir. So, yeah, man, Spice, you on the road, like you said right now, promoting a couple things. You just did the show last night. Yeah, over at Mount Tabor Theater. How was that?
Yeah. Man, the turnout was big. It was beautiful. The crowd was responsive, man. You know, I mean, I came out there, as soon as I walked out there, they started screaming, and man, that got me fired up. And the music came on, and we just went out we went to Mars after that. Man. We blasted off, dog. Believe that. You know?
No doubt, no doubt. So talk about what you're promoting right now. What you got going on this tour? What are you promoting?
Well, right now we're promoting. We got 2 albums. Home Street Home is a double album. We're just releasing a song. We're releasing the albums separate.
Okay.
So the first Home Street Home should be out on 4/20.
Okay.
And you know, we got a Scarface, Devin the Dude. I sampled the homie Pac voice for one of the hooks on the song.
Nice.
It's called "Rollin'." We actually leaked it out to the audience. You know, the crowd. You can download it, and I mean, it's you know, we got a lot of more features on there.
Yeah.
The music is knocking. Y'all love it. You know what I'm saying? And the second one is coming in. You know. We don't have the release date for the second one yet, but you know, look forward to it. Stay tuned. You know, we're gonna keep putting them out. You know.
No doubt, no doubt. And then you also have a mixtape that you did. Talk about that a little bit.
Yeah. The actual songs we released some of them on the mixtape, like the one with me and Scarface and Devin the Dude, and there's a song with me and Tupac on there that has been we haven't released it. You know, it's a story behind that. You know.
Yeah.
It was a long time ago, you know, me and Pac was riding around and, you know, we went to the studio and, you know, we recorded the song, but I like spit like half my verse and he got he spit on he did a 16 and an 8 and I did an 8.
Yeah.
And I never got to actually finish it.
Okay.
So I go through, you know, YouTube. And I see the song and I see it with my verse unfinished. So I snatched it off of YouTube and had my dude, my DJ, stretch the track out and let me spit my third verse on there. And we put it on a mix CD.
Okay.
It's called Notorious Bastards.
Okay.
And you can, you know, download that anywhere. Just pull it up on the internet. And, you know, it's for free, and you know you'll love it. You know, so
there it is.
We're pushing that right now. You know.
Okay. So like y'all hear, man, Spice got a bunch of things in the works right now. A bunch of ways that you can reach out and get some of the new stuff that he's been working on. But let's go back a little bit, man. You know, I was going through and looking at your discography, and man, you've been in the game for a long time, dude. And whenever I come across cats like that, you know, the first question I always ask is, how do you do? I mean, how do you maintain that longevity? How is it that you've been able to, you know, to stay prevalent in the industry for this long?
Well, the first thing I did was, you know, I mastered my craft to the point to where I could entertain my audience, and I stayed in touch with my fans through my music and through performances, and you know, I'm really in touch with my fans, you know, and they feel my music. So, you know, that's the best way to kind of stay, you know, relevant in the game is, you know, be in touch with your fans and you know, the common people that listen to your music, and you know, because you never know who's listening.
Yeah.
So I mean, you know, and the content of the lyrics in my songs speak to my audience, and they kind of like, you know, I don't just rap for me. I rap for, you know, everybody else too. You know, I don't talk about my trials and tribulations. I talk about what everybody else might be going through too, and that's kind of how, you know, stay in touch with my audience and my crowd, so they stay tuned because they know I'm gonna say something that's probably gonna refer to what they going through in their life. You know?
Yeah, I feel that. So with with social media being so big, you know, it was start off with really MySpace, and now you got Twitter and Facebook. Is that one of the ways that you use to really stay connected with your fans, or are there other ways that you do it other than just using social media?
Well, yeah, I definitely use Twitter and MySpace and all of that, but you know, just everyday living. You know, when I'm walking around and I go to the store, you know, I don't trip on, you know, I gotta go to the I might go to the corner store, you know, to get me a beer or something or whatever I'm picking up, or you know, and I might see some fans up there and they might, you know, hey Spice, what's up? You know, I don't keep walking and, you know, act like, you know, I'm too good to holler at them. I stop right there in the middle of the hood on the store and chop it up with them and tell them a new album coming out, and you know, and they know that they see me in their neighborhoods. You know, I'm pretty sure it's a few fans out there watching right now that just seen me in their neighborhood, just hanging out with some of their friends, and you know, so it's cool, you know, like that, you know, because when I go to my shows, I see the cat that I seen on the block that I was talking to at the store, and he fired up like, yeah, man, you know, so. You know, that's how I kind of stay in touch with stay in touch with them, dude.
Yeah. Well, and it's, you know, it's funny, man. It's really interesting because when we consider, like, when we just look at where we are, especially West Coast hip hop, and sort of go back through history and see the cats who were real prevalent. I mean, your name really pops up, you know, especially in the '90s when you were really, you were all over the place, videos, all over the radio, you know, all in all the hip hop magazines, and you know, it doesn't sound like your persona of Spice One got bigger than who you are. I mean, it's almost as if you don't even realize how big you are. I mean, you're so down to earth and stay connected. Yeah.
I mean, well, you know, I just like it's more. My music is more of a therapy for me than anything. You know, I mean, like I write my trials and tribulations and everything that I'm going through in my life. And you know, I really don't care if who likes it or who doesn't like it. I don't really, you know, it's more therapeutic for me than anything. So, you know, and my fans, or the people who happen to like it, or you know, they digging it real tough, then I'm with that. I can dig that too. So I mean, I never really tripped on, you know, how big I might have gotten, or you know, because I actually didn't think I was gonna, you know, blow that big. You know, the first album did good, you know, we was like, you know, well, you know, that's a nice album, the first one. And the second one did good too, and so we like, you know, we on the Billboard charts with 2 albums, then the third one did hit #1 on the Billboard charts, you know, and not just the hip hop, it was you know, just music period. You know, I've been #1 on the Billboard charts 3 times, and that was amazing to me and real, you know, surprising. It's, you know, as far as the content of my music and what I was saying, you know, it was real, and it was you know, it was coming from the streets. You know?
Absolutely.
So, you know, people was like, you know, well, that ain't gonna sell. You know, you saying this and you saying that, and that's bad to say. You shouldn't say this and say that. I'm saying, well, hey, you know, I mean, I lived it, I seen it. Why shouldn't I say it? You know?
Well, let's talk about that for a minute. So. We've talked about the music that you produced and put out, and talked about staying connected with your fans, and you do have such a huge fan base. For those who may be just tuning in and don't really know who Spice One is, let's just give them a little taste right quick. It's like we talked about. Spice was he was at Mount Tabor Theater last night, and as always, of course, Dirty Dog Productions was in the building. So we're about to cut to some footage right quick. This your boy Spice One doing this thing last night at the Mount Tabor Theater right here in Portland, Oregon. So let's cut to this, and then we'll be right back.
Do you guys need a break? Do you guys need a drink real quick?
Yeah, where is
it? All right, 1 second, I'll bring it to you. Which one is yours, the tea?
Yeah.
So then coming out of that, I'm gonna go back to what you were saying about like the music being therapeutic. We'll kind of flow right into that, and then we'll touch on the shooting, and sort of.
Do you need anything?
No, I'm good. Like, so, you know, what you remember of it, what led to it, and then like everything surrounded.
That is not what I want on.
Oh, I'm good. I'm actually a little chilly myself. But
yeah, I'm cool. It ain't burning me up.
Yeah.
So I got my Lokes on.
Yeah, exactly. No,
I got these glasses on. I'm good.
No, I'm good.
Not making you guys sweat?
Not at all.
I'll leave it that way.
Yeah.
How did that freeze us?
Yeah.
Okay, we are ready now. Okay, we'll come up on 2. Don't move 2. Okay. Hold on, I gotta get my phone ready. Okay, 5, 4, 3.
Yes, y'all. So you just had a chance to check out the homie Spice One last night doing this thing live on stage, holding it down here in Portland, Oregon. You were watching Dirty Dog Productions, The Underground. I'm your host, DJ Klyph, just chilling. So we was talking a minute ago about staying connected with your fans and some of the feedback that you get potentially on the content of your songs. But like you said, it can be therapeutic for you. And you just talk about things that you've seen, things that you've experienced. A few years back, you had the unfortunate circumstance of being involved in a shooting. Why don't you speak on that a little bit? What you remember about that day, and then things that followed.
I mean, well, it was like, you know, random, you know, Bay Area.
Yeah, yeah.
You know how I get out there in the Bay Area, so you know, you gotta, you know, it's cold, it's crazy to say, but hey man, you gotta expect to get shot out there. You know, it might have took took me, you know, years for it to happen, but you know.
Yeah, yeah.
And I mean, you know, it was a time where you know the economy was bad, and you know things was going real bad in the neighborhood. So you know, you kind of gotta expect for cars to be probably being stolen and people's houses to be being broken in, because we was going through a period in that time where, you know, things was happening like that, and you know everybody was having hard times.
Yeah.
So me being who I am, you know, where I'm from and what I've seen, it was hard for me to even blame the guy for, you know, because I mean, I mean, you know, I've done it before too as a youngster. You know, went out there trying to jack, you know, somebody's car, or you know, and so I couldn't really, you know, speak bad on it.
Yeah.
Because I mean, it you know, I used to do the same thing.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
It could have been, you know, what you call it, karma coming back on me. Everything was, you know, it was just a whole ironic scene.
Yeah, but for those who don't know, tell everybody what happened.
I mean, well, I was sitting in my car, and you know, my mom had just got over cancer, and I didn't want to go in there. It was like I just came from a photo shoot, and I didn't want to go in there and wake her up.
Yeah.
And it was like 1 in the morning.
Yeah.
And so I just sat out there and, you know, sat in the car and started, you know, I think I watched a movie or something.
Yeah. And
chilled out or whatever, and then I looked to the side and see somebody running up on the car.
Yeah.
And so, you know, I didn't have no firearm on me at that time, because I left everything at the studio session, and so I was gonna open the car and just, you know, use this firearm.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? No doubt. And I guess when he seen me do that, he got scared, and you know, I heard him say a few cuss words or whatever, and he shot and he ran at the same time.
Yeah.
And I seen the bullet go through the window, but I didn't see where it exited at.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, okay, I seen it come in. I looked through the other side of the window to see where it went through, and it didn't go through. So I figured, I looked down, and it was, you know, I was shot. So like, you know, I was shot before I knew it.
Yeah, yeah.
And it wasn't like, you know, I was dying, gasping for air, and I'm dead, and oh my God, you know. You know, I wasn't running like, oh my God, I'm dead, I'm gonna die. You know, it wasn't like that. It was more like, you know, let me just go up in here, and I really didn't even want to knock on my mom's door and tell her I was shot.
Right.
But I had to do it anyway, so I go knock on the door, and you know, they kind of old or whatever, and it took them a while to get there.
Yeah. In the meantime, you on the porch bleeding. You know? Yeah.
And so, you know, they come and open the door, and I tell her what's going on, and you know, I get some water, and they call an ambulance, and the ambulance get there. On the way there, the ambulance gets there, but the cops aren't there yet.
Yeah.
And you know, I don't know if it's TMI or whatever, but you know, I didn't have on nothing but my underwear sitting in front of the house because it was, you know, when you get hit with that lead, it's hot.
Yeah, yeah, no doubt.
So, and it bring up your whole temperature and your whole body, so it could be, you know, below zero, and if you get shot, you're gonna be hot.
Yeah, yeah, no doubt.
You're gonna want to take off all your clothes.
No
so
doubt.
I took off my clothes, and
you
know, I had on my underwear sitting in the front of the house, you know, just posted up waiting for the ambulance.